Welcome to Whose Review Matters Anyway, the podcast where the show notes are made up and the reviews don't matter, just like water supply during hurricane preparation in the state of
Oh, oh, I thought you were going to say something about doing the assignment and getting F the entire year. You fucking failed, man.
Yeah, somebody fucked up here. I'm wondering who it is.
Oh, well, okay. There's two things going on right now, people. Hold on. So, first of all, let's get the hurricane shit out of the way. For people that didn't put two and two together to make four, we're in the state of Florida. We're in Central Florida. Okay, not going to specify a city, but
If you say so.
everyone's prepping for the hurricane, whatnot. For I guess non-Floridians are, but the regular Floridians are just getting beer and yeah, just straight up getting.
Yeah, just getting beer, getting things for barbecue because we know that the powers are going to go out eventually. And the non-Floridians who've only been here for like 4 years are going fucking crazy. And it's kind of funny to see them go crazy.
Are you guys prepped for the hurricane at all? Did you guys even do anything or
Yeah,
hamper
I mean, like
bought a
I'm always,
fire
I'm al-
door?
I'm always stacked with food. Like I'm always good. Like we always go grocery shopping like every week or every 2 weeks, depending what we need. And every single time when we go grocery shopping, I always get a case or two case of water. So I'm good on my part. Are you guys good?
I mean, we're good over here. We actually just went grocery shopping today, just in case power does go out. So we got a case. Well, we got like 2 gallons of water. We already have a case of water at home. We got some like non-perishable foods. Got some Pop Tarts and some cereal to snack on and whatnot. But that's pretty much it. I mean, just low key stuff because I don't think it's gonna be that big. But I mean, who knows? Ham, did you stock up on your whiskey supply?
Got a bottle of whiskey, a handle of rum, a 12 pack of seltzer, and a 12 pack of like these mixed cocktails for $45. Thank you, Sam's.
I
And
don't know.
I think that's the first thing that Ham went to go get. Instead of fucking water, he went straight to the alcohol section.
hey,
Oh
hey, hey!
shit.
I got 3 packs of Lacroix. All
Oh man, I need to get my white claw.
right. But yeah, I got some good deals. Um, I was already that week for shopping anyway, so I did get one case of normal water.
It's so
That's the out of the ordinary for him. Just the water. Everything else was just regular week to week shopping for
he
him.
saw a Fiji bottle, like just one single Fiji water,
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'll take this. It's okay.
this is
I'm set
already
for the year."
7 gallons times more than what I usually get.
And then we got a little bit of food here and there, but that's just regular stuff that we were getting anyways. I
Nah,
didn't even
more.
I didn't even think about the hurricane until people were like, "Water, water, water." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" Oh yeah, okay, cool.
The thing is about my job is that where I work, usually there's a lot of people from up north that moved down here recently, and
And
they're like freaking out, like really fucking freaking out. And so far, my job has been tracking the storm and sending out emails to everybody like, listen, we might be closed for the next 3 days, probably starting Wednesday, going to Friday, and reopening on Saturday, depending how this thing shifts and this and that. But we're probably going to just get the right wing of it, and it's going to become like a category two. That's what's predicted. So it's okay. But the bad thing is that it's like half land and half water, just in case that nobody fucking knows of how hurricanes are. When it's in warm water, it's like putting gasoline inside fire, and that's what makes this hurricane a little trickery. That's your weatherman for the day.
one by land, two by sea. I don't give a fuck. Look at me. I'm trying to drink on Thursday because it's an open bar and I'm thirsty.
Where's
I
there an open
mean,
bar on Thursday?
It's a wedding.
Oh,
oh, that wedding's canceled.
Uh, it's in a brewery, so that's a really safe place because
through thick and thin. All
What
right.
the fuck?
Poor Pedro.
Who the hell would say that? It's a brewery, so it's a safe place.
yeah.
Oh God. I didn't
Well,
think about the hurricane until I guess wait, today's Monday, right? Yeah, this
Yeah.
morning because someone had mentioned like, oh yeah, we might be closed on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, that's right. That this thing is coming our way, isn't it? And it's like we get because what was it last year or 2 years ago where like the hurricane literally made like a 90-degree angle, right? It was coming towards and it
Thursday.
went
That's
straight
2 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't even take things seriously anymore. And but I mean schools are closed for Wednesday and Thursday at the very least. I didn't know that buses couldn't operate at a certain wind speed. So it's not
That
even
makes sense because it will tip over. Like, what do you mean?
well, I just didn't think about it that way. Like I just assumed like, oh, if it's like literally tracked to hit directly over us, then that would call it. But we could be hit by the outer bands, and then the outer bands, the winds are a certain like above, I think 30 miles per hour. Then the buses can't operate, and if the buses can't operate, then the school shut down.
So, is it official for you Wednesday and Thursday?
Yeah, it is official. So Wednesday and Thursday is no school. Friday is kind of a to be determined kind of thing. Although it would kind of suck because we have a homecoming football game that Friday night, and then the homecoming dances on Saturday.
Oh,
So
that's canceled.
I don't know about that. Everyone's thinking by Friday we're gonna be fine, and we might be. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
No one knows what's gonna happen with this hurricane.
So far, what I think we're getting the asshole of the hurricane, like the last part of it, like we're still getting like rain and
The mic of the hurricane.
yeah, the Michael the hurricane, the little asshole that smells like ham a little bit. Like we're getting that a little bit with,
Wait, does that mean? Whoa. Okay. Okay.
you know.
No.
So I still think Friday things will still be closed. I believe so.
So that's gonna fuck up my whole plans because I got a hotel on Friday. I was gonna go to this place, and I guess this place charges fucking parking till 12 now instead of 7. I know what Sal knows what I'm talking about. What the
Mhm.
fuck?
Yeah,
And
your plans are fucked and canceled.
and then Saturday there's a food event outside.
That's
Don't.
not canceled for sure. That's going to probably happen because Saturday this shit is already up to Georgia.
All right, so good. And then work hasn't told me shit.
All right. Well, speaking of hurricanes, this episode is a fucking mess already on its own because Mike didn't do the fucking homework assignment like he was supposed to.
Oh yeah, guys. Just in case if
Wow.
any of the listeners were wondering who fucked up, yeah, I fucked up.
We were supposed to watch Andor because the first 3 episodes out of 12, it's a 12 episode series. The first 3 episodes were released, so we were going to talk our initial impressions, but it looks like Ham and I are going to just kind of give our take on it. And then Mike's just going to, I don't know, bitch and complain about why there may or may not be Baby Yoda in there, maybe not to the full extent that he would like
They
it to
have
be.
to have a cameo, Baby Yoda, bro. If Baby Yoda's 50 years old, he has to be in the Andor's world, bro.
Just go buy your damn plushie, man.
I
No,
already have
that
two.
doesn't make sense because it's
But I
pre.
do have a review on myself, though. I mean, I have two reviews that I can do
Well,
to
okay, hold on.
entertain.
Let's get a couple things out of the way. First of all, I need to ask, and none of you did it. Did anyone watch Avatar over the weekend?
Nope.
Why?
I don't. I'm just saying. I don't know. Mike is the one that's like cheerleading on James Cameron over here for like best number one movie in the world. So
Hey, I'm
Mike
cheering
watched
for
it.
Avatar 2, all right? I don't know why the fuck he released it during this weekend because probably he's being a little greedy and probably he's hyping his own movie. But no, 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 I'm not gonna spend like I mean, what? Well, now everything's like fucking $15 for a movie ticket. I'm not gonna spend $15 on going to the movie theaters and spending another $20 on popcorns and drinks. Nah, nah. I'll watch it over here on pirate. I mean, I'll purchase it renting.
Wow, how dare you?
I know. Sorry, Ham.
Uh,
Can you download that for me?
I don't know if something else came out this weekend or something was a
There is "Don't Worry, Darling" with Harry Styles and what's her
yeah. No,
name?
thank you, Florence. You yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to watch
Which
Woman's is it Woman's King or
something
something like
like that.
yeah, I wanted to watch that. I'm interested in watching that, but probably next week I might catch that in the movie theaters probably. All depends
I,
on how this storm is.
I rewatched No Way Home over the weekend.
Oh
But
my god.
oh god, did it come with the deleted scenes or no?
No, because no, I went to go see my brother over the weekend, and then he put it just he just had I don't know what channel he had, but it was on the TV. And so we just sat down and watched it, and so I just got to rewatch it. But I'm still gonna stick by what I originally said. That last hour and 15 minutes or so, you could just cut out the beginning part and just left that hour and 15 minutes, and that would have been the whole movie for me right there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
Uh,
agree with you.
Trying to
But
think, man. We can't talk about She-Hulk yet. We got three more episodes for that because we just got what done with episode 6, so we have 7, 8, and 9. So 9 episodes
Oh,
today.
I did not know how many there were. There's nine, huh?
Yeah.
yeah, there's nine.
So
I need to rewatch six.
there's three. There's three more episodes of that. Do we have another series starting soon?
Yeah, Andor.
No, we besides Andor, like the.
Andor. I mean, we have to watch. I mean, I don't. I know Ham finished Cobra Kai.
Oh, that's right. That's the
Yep.
other one.
I need to finish watching Cobra Kai. Sal needs to finish
Or
watching it.
Go
Sorry.
bring.
Hmm?
Did you start it? You said finish. Did you start it?
No, I didn't start it yet.
I
Oh.
didn't start it. Yeah.
Um.
Yeah,
you're- Uh.
I personally, listeners, I have two reviews that a couple things that I watched that I would like to discuss about, and hopefully you guys have questions for me.
Next, Mighty Ducks come out on Wednesday, and
You're a dick.
Hocus Pocus 2 comes out Friday.
Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Hocus Pocus comes out already?
Yes.
Oh my god, that movie's finally coming out.
Yes. Hocus Pocus 2.
Stuck on the Mighty Ducks thing. What?
I watched the first season.
You did?
Oh
Yeah.
wait, John Stamos thing?
No, with Emilio Estevez
Oh, I have no idea then. No idea.
on Disney Plus.
I believe you, man. I just
Okay.
Willow out yet.
No.
All right, Mike. What's the first thing you want to talk about?
All right. Okay. So I know Ham asked me this, and we have discussed about this movie.
Oh, no spoilers because I want to see it.
No spoilers, no spoilers. This movie, I'm definitely will not want to spoil anything for anybody, and I hope everybody who have seen this movie hasn't spoiled for anybody who has not experienced this movie.
Fucking movie.
Barbarian. I went to the movie theaters with my wife. We saw this movie, and anybody who is new to the podcast, my name is Mike. I am a horror fan, and a horror.
It's a horror fan, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a horror fan. I'm a huge horror fan. I love, you know, Halloween is my favorite holidays. My favorite holiday in the entire year. I love watching scary movies. I'm a big fan of Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason, and all that stuff. Um, I'm just gonna get straight to the point before I like drag this shit on. Barbarian. Honestly, if I didn't give my gold card to Batman, I would have gave this movie a gold card.
Ooh.
The fourth or fifth movie he said that
No, no,
already.
no, no. I know. But I have said that like jokingly and not seriously.
You
I
said
think.
that like 2 times already.
I mean, like, Gun is a fucking great movie,
Hey,
and
we're in the back of the end of the year. We can't strip a go kart away.
No.
no, no, I'm still going to give it to Batman. But if Batman didn't come out and Batman wasn't really, if Batman wasn't a good movie, this movie, in my opinion, would have. I don't know. It would have been hard. I would have probably. I don't know. Maybe Top Gun would have been good too.
Also,
I don't
maybe
know.
I guess you can't give it a go kart because we all didn't see it.
Well, I don't know. Well, I will say this though. This is the top two best horror movie of the year, tied with Black Phone. Black Phone has is unique type of way of how that movie works, and this movie has a type of way where it's different from every other horror movie. And I really did like this movie a lot. I really did love watching it. The whole If you watch the trailer and you think you have an idea of what this movie is, I'm telling you, you do not know. You don't know anything. This movie honestly just leaves you like on the edge of your seat. And towards the end of this movie, it becomes more of a okay, like it's sort of like a fighting movie the way that Ham likes his scary movies.
Yeah, the fight back. That's what I heard. So that's
You
why.
know, the fight back, and it's very interesting and it's funny. It has like like funny dark moments. where it blends in with the movie perfectly. And there is a part of this movie where you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And it's like, "Oh, okay, I well, okay, that's pretty kind of funny that the way that you did that." Um, but the whole entire movie, man, it's really good, very creepy, gory horror, and it's just it's kind of like there's some parts of the movie that it's like very unsettling. It gives you like that imagination of like this happened, but it doesn't show you, but it's like very disturbing in your mind. I liked it a lot. I'll give it a green card for sure. I highly recommend it. I think this movie, it might, I don't know, Black Phone was really fucking good too. It's tied for sure. I highly recommend it. Go watch it. If you want to wait for it to be in streaming, go right ahead. Or even if it's like if you don't want to go to the movie theaters and you see it for $20 to rent or whatever, I highly recommend you purchasing for $20 if you don't want to go to the movie theaters. I don't know. Maybe even if you're in Florida and the hurricane is passing by, you don't know what to do and you still have power, fucking rent it. Fuck it. Green
I don't
card.
That's
available yet to
it.
rent.
If you have power and if you have money,
If you have power, you have money, and you want a stimulus check. I don't know. I mean, I don't fucking know
No
what to go
power,
with it.
money, fucking cockroaches, Scarface, man.
that's true.
Yeah.
All right. What's the second thing?
Then the second thing is that I choose a show over Andor, and I couldn't stop watching it. It's the new Netflix series. It starts with Evan Peters. It's called Dahmer. It's the title is Dahmer, the monster of Jeffrey Dahmer. It's the real life story of the serial killer in back in the 80s 90s. Jeffrey Dahmer killed multiple men in his apartment, even multiple people, even before he had his own apartment, where he will drug them, strangle them, cut them open, eat their hearts, have sex with their bodies. And this show goes into more into depth of his character, of the person and the victims that were unfortunately taken out of this world because of him. um I feel bad for saying that this is a really good series because it's a true life experience that it happened, and it's just like so dark and you just feel so sad for the victims. But the show is so it did such a perfect job of explaining the story and give you an insight of this monster and everything. That's I this show honestly distracted me during the weekend, and I recently just finished it. I think it's a really good show. I recommend people watching it. Evan Peters, I think he's actually being in a for was it an Oscar or something like that for this show, because he fucking betrayed, like, he the way that he fucking acted like Jeffrey Dahmer. I hope he has some type of counseling because he did a phenomenal job. Like, even if you go back to the interviews of this fucking guy back like in the 90s on YouTube, and you put Evan Peters side by side, he acts just like, he talks and acts like him, and he sort of like kind of looks like him of how they did the makeup. Green Card, I highly recommend you guys watching it. If you guys, I don't know if you guys like that type of stuff. um it's a really good show, man. It's and Holy fuck, episode 6. Mark my words, episode 6. Just brace yourself. Brace yourself. Like, ugh. It gives me fucking chills, man. But yeah, really good show.
I got no follow up questions.
I have one, but I'm gonna skip it.
But what? Oh, wait, no, 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 no. Maybe after the podcast.
Ham, did you watch anything besides the homework assignment?
Fuck, man, I don't even know what I watched. I watched the Andor today, thinking everyone watched it.
Yeah, I can watch it right now. I'm watching it.
No, I've been busy weekend, man. Long,
All
busy.
right. So
Oh,
then,
but I did go to the Dr. Phillips Center and saw David Spade.
Oh yeah, how was that?
A little the jokes a little, just a little outdated because I guess they're still dealing with COVID in
Mm.
California. So he had a few COVID jokes, which I'm like, yeah, but I think he understood that. Yeah, we were done with that a while back. Um, but all in all, it was funny. Yeah, David Spade being David Spade.
Did you start playing Deathloop?
No, I'm still trying to finish Horizon first. I think I'm maybe 5 hours and the game would be done. Maybe even less if I don't finish all the side missions.
I might have to play Deathloop because there's a thing to get like 150 like points towards like the reward points or something, and I have to get an achievement in Deathloop, so I might have to play it
Wait, why do you?
so I can get 150 reward points
What for? What?
so I can stack up the points and then convert them to gift cards.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I explained this before. You just
You
gotta
probably
look
don't.
at Microsoft Rewards Center or whatever. It's an app on the Xbox. Look it up.
Okay, okay, okay.
But I was trying to play a Plague's Tale. I mentioned that last time, but I didn't realize that once a game is marked leaving soon, they only give you 2 fucking weeks to play the game before it completely removes it. So I never got to finish the game. I never even got past like level 2 because I just thought it was like, oh, I thought I have until the end of September to play it. Nope, nope, it was gone. So I'm probably gonna start playing Deathloop and or Assassin's Creed Odyssey since it's two.
I have Odyssey. I haven't touched it.
Well, all right. So I guess let's just talking about Andor then, or Ander. That's how they pronounced it
Yeah,
in the
I
show.
don't. Yeah, first of all, it's been a while since I've seen Rogue One. Good, but that's the character's name, correct?
Yes.
I think I was just thinking Endor, and I'm like, I don't think that's right.
Where are the Ewoks? Fucking red card. There's no fucking Ewoks in this
Hey,
show.
hold up. I'm a decent fan enough to know that the Ewoks were on the moon of Endor, not actually Endor.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
wow,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
sir. We're gonna have to ask you to calm down.
Nerd rage.
um, Mike. Honestly, though, like, is it just because the other show was just that interesting enough that you said fuck the homework assignment, or you just were not interested in Andor?
I gotta be honest, guys, both.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
had.
okay. I'm going to admit right now, and you write this down. I did fuck up bad of not doing the homework assignment. You can call me whatever you want. I
Okay.
fucked up. I'm admitting it.
Okay.
I'm admitting it. Ham, I am admitting it.
No, I can use better words.
Cunt. But you know what I mean? So like I just didn't feel I don't know. You might find it you might think that this is an excuse, but
It is.
dude, Obi
You know what? I think that's fair.
Obi-Wan really fucked me up because
He can never love Star Wars again. He got fucked up and
I can tell
yeah,
you this.
like
broke his heart.
it's just because like it's just like you're going back in time
Yeah,
of like of a story that we already know, like spoilers, this guy fucking dies.
Hold on, but we've already had this discussion though that if it's done right, because Obi-Wan could have been done right, but they didn't. They fucked that one up.
They fucked that one up, but the thing is that like how you gonna put this character in danger if we already know that gets out of it?
I think that's what happened with Han Solo as well. And say that didn't do well enough to get more.
So that's why
So
my I don't know what you were
so
gonna
so
say.
to kind of I think give where my direction my conversation is gonna go is that what I had issues or what I figured out what I had issues with Obi-Wan, and this actually also works for Han Solo too, is that you're kind of dealing with legacy characters that have already like a substantial story in the original trilogy that no matter what you did in a new sequel or in a prequel or an animated series, it had to respect what came of that, right? So if we take Obi-Wan, we know that he's gonna have to face Vader at some point. Or if he didn't have to really face Vader at all, because all we knew of the conversation was that they had met one last time and that, one was more powerful than the other. But now they tampered with it and was like, okay, is this going to honor what you just put, like what you put in the original trilogy, right? Did we need Obi-Wan to meet Luke? Did that fuck up anything in that original trilogy? And I think that's the same thing that happened with Han Solo, right? You have like this character who meets Lando. He wins his Falcon through a gambling deal or whatever. We know that he did the Kessel Run, and so it was kind
Hmm.
of like you had to make sure that no matter what you did, you honored what you had placed already in the original series. With
Yes.
Andor, it's a little bit more free because yeah, sure, the outcome, but you don't really dive into his character because he gives hints to his character in Rogue One. Like Rogue One, it's probably one of my top five favorite Star Wars movies. It's such a good
Yeah,
movie.
same.
And it's much more grounded for the sake of conversation. Out of all Star Wars movies, this one is the most grounded. You don't see a lot of space battles. It's just more of like, the troopers and their armored vehicles, and it's that grounded war that I think, it's a nice alternate take to the fantasy side of Star Wars.
Yeah.
You only get like glimpses of his life. Like you only kind of get that he's like this sort of, like, not, I don't want to use the word dark because that's not the right tone I'm going for here, but that he's got some problems that he's been dealing with since he was a kid. And we didn't know where he came from. We didn't really know like how he got into rebellion. And that's what this series is trying to do, is give us that backstory. We can't say like, oh, you have to honor him meeting so and so. You don't have to, because the movie didn't really use him as like a spotlight character. It only used him as a supporting character. So this one has more freedom to kind of, tell its own story without, Star Wars nerd fans, angry people being like, well, he's supposed to meet Darth Vader and Chewbacca and the planet of this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, there's none of that. Like, there's nothing for you to address because you don't know anything about this character, probably know very little about this character. Ham,
Right.
you think?
I no, I'm just worried that, I mean, I guess you're right that he's not a legacy character, but I mean, there is, like you said, a way they can do it right. I feel like they can fall into the trap of, you know, just adding stuff for no reason. Um, Considering that I've seen all three episodes, um, no, I think it's going in a good direction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking it so far. I think because when I was watching it, I was automatically thinking, I don't think Mike's gonna like this show, and it's mainly because of the pacing. It's slow, but not like excruciating, painfully slow. Like
I could see it
there
is a little slow.
are moments where like you're kind of wishing you forward it like times 1.5 speed, just so that way he can get from point A to point B a little bit faster. But I don't think it's like I don't think none of it is like unnecessary. Like I think it all serves the story, and it's a different tone. And I'm gonna go again with the same things that describe Rogue One. It's very grounded. There's not a lot of fantasy elements. It's kind of like the street gritty side of Star Wars, which made Rogue One, I think, such a big hit. Which made what people would have wanted or assumed Mandalorian was gonna be. Like it's kind of offering that. And so far, 3 episodes in, it's not a fucking comedy. Like it's not, there's no like, forced jokes or anything like that at all.
Yeah,
it,
I don't
it,
like the Force Jedi jokes.
it's literally everything is serving the story, is serving the character, and you get to find out more about his upbringing through a couple of flashbacks, and then you get to find out the characters he's with right now, and kind of like this camaraderie that he's already built with them, and you kind of see some of the personality that you see in Rogue One come out of this series already, just already 3 episodes in, and there's still 9 more episodes to go. So
Mine too.
it's a good start. There's nothing for me to dislike right now. The only thing I would say is like I kind of wish some parts were just going a little bit faster than what it already is, but that's for me, that's more of like just a nitpick than it is any sort of like criticism or anything of the show. I like all the actors. I like the settings. I like, there's not a whole lot of spotlight on the aliens in this show. Just, despite it being Star Wars, they do have some,
I think
but
same thing with Obi-Wan.
what?
Same thing with Obi-Wan.
Hmm, yeah, I'm trying to think because he was on a couple of different planets, right? So
Yeah, but there was barely what I mean. I can barely think of the aliens that he was encountering.
yeah, that's true. No, it's a valid point. But like, I, I
I got a
think
quick
Obi.
question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so with this show,
Obi-Wan and Darth Vader do show up.
wait for real?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, God, it's
um.
Yoda and Count Dooku. That's all.
Oh. Wait for real?
No,
Oh, are you
it's
serious?
just Ahsoka.
Are you sure? Um, does this show open up to any new storylines that you can see with new characters,
I mean, yes. Like I assume because
I think because of the new characters it introduces, sure, but I don't think
or
it's.
is it just a dead end show where it's just a one like and that's it?
I don't know if I like the way you're phrasing them. That's the thing. That's like
I don't know how to answer that. Yeah,
there's new characters that introduce. A couple of them are interesting. A couple of them seem like they're just there to kind of help serve the story, and they're
Yeah,
not like characters that like, God, why are you in this show? They're just like characters like, yeah, you're a little bit of a prick, but you're part of this whole empire thing, and we got to figure out what's going on that side. Like, obviously Andor is involved with whatever went down on your side, so you got to figure that shit out. um but it's not like, I don't like, if we're thinking this series is just like a one season done kind of ordeal. Yeah, I could see that happening, but I don't think that's going to detract away from like the quality of the series
well,
itself.
no, I saw a video and they explained how many years is was it what was the planet that blew up? Yavin?
uh
there's a lot of
no,
planets that blow up, so I don't know, don't remember any of the names.
The one that they were on.
it's not Yavin. Yavin was episode 4. That's the plan, that's that planet that the Death Star was going to blow up. I don't remember the name of the planet that they were on in Rogue One.
Okay, so I think it said 5 years before Yavin blew up.
Okay.
So you could do the math there.
So so this will probably end almost right where we pick up in Rogue One.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know. I've not heard. I don't know if you guys have heard yes or no one and done season.
No, I don't know. I haven't heard, but I mean, they could probably do more. Because if you look at the flashback and then like where he is now, I mean, I'm sure they can fill in more holes of that. But that's only if people really want to know more of that backstory. Like, I think series is meant to be like, man, we really like this character in Rogue One. I wish we could know more about him. Well, here you go. Here's a series about him, and then that's it. So I guess to answer Mike's question, yeah, it's a one hit wonder kind of ordeal.
Yeah,
I can see it. Like,
like
it
is this
does leave
show
its.
only satisfies the Rogue One instead of
I
it being the
probably
whole
would say
entire?
yes.
That's like, I mean, that's what that's what I'm like asking. Is like it. I mean, of course, Rogue One connects with Episode 4 of how they got the Death Star plans, but you know what I mean. Like with Rogue One, it just had its like specific characters. You only saw Princess Leia and Darth Vader in the end, but of course, this had its own characters and its own story. It's Andor the same way as Rogue One, where it only connects with Rogue One, and everything else is like it's of course connected with each other, and this is just separate from for Rogue One.
I mean, I guess to answer your question just very simply, yeah. I mean, it is
Yeah,
just support the
this.
story. But what
Yeah.
I don't like about saying that is that the majority of Star Wars content is like spaceships and lightsaber battles and the
Hmm.
Force, whereas opposed to Rogue One, it's like, this is the reality of the situation. This is what it's like down here. sorry, we don't have like X-wings and Jedi mind tricks. So this
Yeah.
is what we're dealing with, and I've always appreciated that side, like kind of like the political also impressions of the Empire and the Rebellion on like the regular towns, the villages, the crowds, and all that.
Yeah,
So
this should have been a thin story in the movies about sort of dealing with just the people down there fighting the people down there, basically.
Okay. It's just
Um, but,
because like I really did love Rogue One of how it was its own separate thing and their own ways of dealing with the Empire. And like I and you guys, I mean, Sal probably might say something else, but that's what I love about the Mandalorian as well. Is that of course Mandalorian is his own thing, where it doesn't heavily involve with lightsabers or like space, like a little bit of space battles, but it's its own thing. Like he's doing what he's trying to do,
well,
and that's what I love about Rogue One as well. And I think,
well, not even that, because I don't. I mean, it's going to lead to that. It really is the roadmap to Road One. I don't think it's trying to splinter off that much into anything else. But I mean, we've only seen 3 episodes, so
but
plus
we.
but
plus
it's an interesting story though of Star Wars.
I think so. I think so,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it, it,
Well, I don't even know. I mean, you could say Star Wars, but it's just an interesting story about the character that you've seen before.
two things. One, I think I like this, or I put this more on like on a higher pedestal, probably than even Mandalorian, is because of all the content we've been getting lately, Marvel included. Everything's just been like a comedy, right? It's always been like these jokes over and over again. Like they try to make things light of the situation. This show, 3 episodes in, doesn't seem like it's going to do that at all. Like this is kind of like a little bit more, I don't want to say mature or grown up really, but just like it's taken itself seriously.
Well, yeah, you didn't even want to say darker. Then what? Like what? Just serious?
Just yeah, it's just taking itself, it's a serious like drama. It's like it's not like, they're not putting in like they could have easily done a cantina joke in the first episode, right? They
Yes.
could easily like put in something about, the band playing in the background, or like, they could have shown the guy that, gets his arm cut off from episode 4. Like they could have done so many things, but they didn't. They just kept really focused to Andor and like where we kind of need to know what he's doing
Right.
right now, and where his mentality is. So it just takes itself more seriously. And the other thing I was gonna say was like, it's almost, and you guys seen more of it, so maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong on this one. It's almost as if like, we have the MCU, but then for a while we also had the Netflix series. You had Daredevil, you had Jessica
Yeah.
Jones, you had Punisher, which are the more serious, street gritty kind of characters. That's kind of what Andor comes off to
That's
me.
what I'm gonna say. Gritty. Yeah.
So like, you have your Star Wars universe, the MCU, but then you have now Rogue One and Andor, which are like the Daredevil and the Defenders, or whatever comparison you want to make
I'm
there.
gonna say Daredevil
I,
because
I
it's if you're saying that this show is good, I'm gonna compare it to Daredevil.
I might even say even darker than, or whatever word you want to use, than Daredevil, because I really can't. I can't even think of any even like light or quick jokes in the first three
Yeah, I don't think
episodes.
there are.
I've always thought that
Because Daredevil,
Mandalorian.
I remember some dumb like jokes in Daredevil. I'm trying to even think of one in the first 3 episodes of Andor.
Well, technically, Foggy was the comedy relief for
He
Daredevil.
was, but I
Yeah,
mean, as of right now,
Joke
there's
about
not
like,
really.
oh, see me in red, or like, something about batons or whatever, something implying like a joke about
Yeah,
his
yeah.
superhero alter
oh,
ego.
okay.
Even Jessica Jones had some dumb, funny stuff, but
Jessica Jones was just bad.
no.
Oh,
Yeah, it was bad.
you're bad.
I'm sure
That
you
show was
love
bad.
the
Why?
Iron Fist then or whatever.
That show was even worse.
Never
Yes, that's
thought.
what I'm saying.
I don't know. I really like Andor. I really like where it's going. I think out of all the Star Wars series so far, I'm almost willing to say that this is probably my favorite one out of every single one so
I
far.
think you just hate the
Including,
Mandalorian because of Baby Yoda.
I don't hate the Mandalorian. I
Yes, you
like.
do.
No, 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 no. See, this guy's already misconstruing my words here. We all gave the first season a green card. We all gave the second season a green card. But
Mhm.
what's killing it for me is that it can't seem to find itself without the Baby Yoda part. Because again, the way that they marketed the Mandalorian was like kind of like a solo show, but not Han Solo, just like a solo
Ah, goddamn.
individual show of like, okay, we're gonna see this badass Mandalorian kind of take on bounties or go on this sort of political quest or whatever that he's got to take care of shit. But ever since they introduced Baby Yoda, it's been all about catering to the Baby Yoda line, which I thought we were done with that, right? It's like, okay, great. You know what? I was along with the ride. Yeah, you sold a lot of toys. Good for you. Mike
And
probably
then
bought
Boba Fett
Mandalorian
happened.
it. And then, like, we get the teaser trailer or like the two episodes in Boba Fett saying, nope, the Baby Yoda's coming back in Mandalorian. It's like, okay, so are you telling me then that this without Baby Yoda, so you have no story to serve on just this character? It has to have Baby Yoda in it, and it just
But
seems
there's
off-putting.
nothing wrong with Baby Yoda though.
And I did mention that they were going to use Baby Yoda as like a tool to bridge some of the stuff together. I'm like, Baby
Hey
Yoda
man.
Bubble Fett. Baby Yoda is going to go to Ahsoka. Baby Yoda is going to go. I, I would be very surprised, but just a little. I'm like, yeah, I thought so.
Now, my biggest question I do have with all these Star Wars shows that's coming and in the that's coming in the future and what's coming out now and everything like that. Where is this story heading to? Is it heading towards episode 7, or are we going to pretend that episode 7, 8, and 9 doesn't exist?
I don't think it's really heading towards any of the movies. Like they're just trying to serve their own stories and making sure that whatever they do,
But these
it
shows do connect with the old movies.
sure, but they don't have to be. They don't have to reference. Like they're
I mean, they do
well,
them.
okay,
They
they
do
don't
it
have to.
themselves.
They don't have to blatantly like flat out say like, oh man, remember when the Death Star 2 blew up? Oh god, those Ewoks, man, what a party they had. Like they don't have to come out and say something like that. Like they can like what was it that was it the Mandalorian? What took place after the Return of the Jedi? Was it
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
okay, yeah, yeah. So, so then they were talking about how like the empire is like scattered, right? The empire is done, it's gone for, and like anything
Yeah.
that's empire is like old. Like when he's using the Razor Crest and he's got the Imperial
Hmm.
codes, it's like outdated. That's stuff that they can do to honor what's already in place. They don't have to flat out say like, okay, so you remember like a few years back in these movies and we did this. Like, there's no heading towards like a movie. It's making sure that whatever they do with these series, it honors the setting
I mean,
and whatever events took
But
place
at the
from.
same time, though, that's heading towards a failure, in my opinion.
well, I don't know because I mean we'll see in see Mandalorian. We'll see what that is going to entail or hint to in the future. Wait, hold on. What? Epi- ep- episode 11? Oh man,
Well,
you just
Oh,
heard it here,
but
guys.
fuck.
but just to be clear, that's where
Hmm.
I made my point about the Luke Skywalker cameo in the Mandalorian, where it's like, hey, that's really cool. You brought him here, don't use them anymore. Like just stop. Like don't like overplay this because this we don't have to know all of these other things that goes on with the Jedi training. We don't have to know all these other things of like where he's been or whatnot because you're now fucking up with the movies and you're going to get people on this stupid bandwagon of like that's not what Luke Skywalker could have would have done. That's not where Luke Skywalker went. He's supposed to be here. He's supposed to do this. He's supposed to do that. Like no, just stop at the cameo and then that's it. Move on to other new characters. Give
But
us the
think you don't think they're trying to do? Wouldn't you like a series or a movie of the Return of the Old Republic?
sure, but it's on like you could do it with new characters and use your legacy characters as just quick cameos. Like we did I don't think we needed the training session that we saw with Luke and Baby Yoda in the Boba Fett series. Jeez, that's a whole
Yeah,
weird thing.
exactly. Boba Fett, not even Mandalorian.
Like we didn't
Yeah.
need that. Like we
Ah,
knew he
yeah,
was going to go
I
fucking
liked
train.
it.
But for what? We knew he was going to train. Like why do we need to know all that stuff when they could have just easily addressed it when the Mandalorian season 3 came back?
Well, I don't like it because there was no reason.
Well, okay. Honestly, I don't. Honestly, I
But
think
then they have Ahsoka, right? And it's like, oh, Ahsoka and Luke know each other. Like, how does that work out? Because Ahsoka and Anakin had
Mhm.
they're out or whatever. So like, do they have that conversation? Like, you see already how many questions there are off of these stupid little like excess like these little bit of cameos that they're doing. Like,
I mean, how many
it
questions do you have brought up? Just saying. I mean, I think honestly, you hate the writing of the placement they're doing because
the what
I think the characters that they brought up are fine, are great actually. I think honestly they fucked up that Boba Fett because I feel like they knew that the show was not that good. It was like, let's just cram Mandalorian into it. So honestly, I think you're more upset with the writing
I'm glad I'm drinking.
of the show instead of the actual characters.
I just want them to be able to serve characters and make sure that those characters can establish themselves and be able to support themselves without other and like without an excessive amount of others' involvement. Like, do we want a Mandalorian? Will we see what's that chick's name? The bounty hunter, the actual Mandalorian. Like, do we want to see
Yeah, what's her?
series where she shows up every single fucking episode?
She
Like,
probably. Oh,
are we still gonna call that the Mandalorian? Are we still thinking like this is just a Mandalorian show, or are we just thinking now it's like, oh, yeah, here's the story we're trying to serve, and then these are the characters involved, and really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who are involved. Like for me, it just kind of loses the value and like the really these straight up the importance of these characters. Like I don't want you to rely on using these legacy characters because you think your own characters can't do well on their own. Like I just think that speaks more about like I don't know, you're planning into it than anything else. That was my problem with the MCU as far as the Spider-Man movies go with the excessive use of Iron Man.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
It
Right.
reminds me of
Can
the
I
one
can I
time
can I honestly ask?
met Kid Chewbacca because some of those dudes were picking on Chewbacca, and Han Solo with his slingshot had
Mhm.
to hit those guys away. I can't even remember. I made the story up before, I don't know how many years ago.
But I
Those
got a
fucking
serious question though,
blocks.
and I was thinking about this. Do you think the
False.
fans? Do you think the fans made Star Wars popular than the writing itself?
Repeat that again.
Do you think the fans made Star Wars popular than the actual writing of Star Wars itself? Because episode 4, 5, and 6, they're, I mean, call them as what it is. I mean, I'm going to call them as, as the masterpiece of the trilogy, right? Those are the three movies that brought everything to. And then episode 1, 2, and 3, there's a lot of problems. Episode 3 had better writing, but so far, every other Star Wars movie they have brought been very poor.
Are
And then
you
of
saying
course Rogue One came out. That was great. So like, as we as fans, have we made has we made Star Wars popular than actually is?
are you
I'm
talking
I'm
about hype?
I'm I'm gonna make an unsupported
Yeah.
statement. Like support this with evidence or whatnot. So this is completely assumption. But if you kind of notice, and this probably applies also to the MCU, the
Hmm.
movies that fans want seem to suck. And the movies that the fans never asked for seem to do
Seems to be
really
good.
well. And that's because of the expectations, like what Ham was bringing in the hype, right? It's just that we think we know what we want, and we're just going to say to these directors or to these CEOs, hey, we want this. They're going to ask, well, how do you want it? We don't fucking care. We just want it. Just do it. And then we get all pissy shit about when they do it and they don't do it the way that we want it to be done. And that again, that's it falls down to, well, this sucks. But then we get something like Rogue One where it's like, oh, I
We
didn't
were
think
not
to make a
expecting
movie.
this.
And yeah, it was something unexpected, but it was
Yeah.
so good because it was something that we didn't already think about. It was just something that these writers, these creators were like, man, I bet we can write a good story, and they sold it, and it was beautiful, it was perfect.
Yep.
So it's it I don't know what to call that, but that's just what I'm seeing, is that, you know, if we don't expect or we don't ask for really anything, we just let things be, we'll get exactly what we wanted, even though we didn't think we needed it.
So that's so far has Star Wars has been more of a, I don't want to say a joke, but it's just more of it's becoming more of a gimmick of like, well, every year we got to release something about Star Wars. It doesn't matter what it is. Let's just create some type of story and just ship it out.
But you could say
Because
that
oh,
about too.
I mean, you could say about Marvel some parts. I will say about it right now in Phase 4, but like, Phase 1, 2, and 3, they had a direction, and it ended beautifully, in my opinion. Of course, there were some movies that were questionable, like some of the Thor movies. For me, Captain Marvel, and and somewhat, for an example, like, Winter Soldier. We were not expecting for that movie to be fucking awesome, and look what happened. It became one of the best movies. And now with Star Wars, after Episode 4, 5, and 6, Episode 1, 2, and 3, they're kind of like, I mean, can you really, people who really haven't seen Star Wars, can you really tell them that, oh, you have to watch 1, 2, and 3? They're so freaking good. You're gonna be 1 and 2. That's the struggle right there. But Episode 3, it's kind of worth watching. And then after that, like, yeah, you have Rogue One is great. Han Solo, and then we were not expecting for Mandalorian to be good. Season 1 and 2 are great, and then after that, it's been sort of a flop. Like, to me, I think like episode 7, 8, and 9, they're kind of like, they're whatever. They didn't really need to happen when you think about it. So, like, as fans, did we created something that didn't really need to be created?
Yeah, because the company likes money.
Man,
Exactly.
But
Like,
this goes again to why I support Andor more than the other series, is because, I
mhm.
mean, and spoilers or not spoilers doesn't really matter. I mean, there's no mention of Luke, there's no mention of Leia, there's no mention of Han Solo, there's no mention of Kashyyyk, there's no mention of Yavin, there's no mention of anything yet that we are already familiar with in the Star Wars series. There's not even there's no mention of, what's his name, the guy that Itman plays. His character is not even mentioned. Jin
Oh
Erso,
yeah,
none of these characters are even mentioned yet, and it's
it's just a
great
brand new story.
because I can
yeah,
watch it and just
and
enjoy
they're
it for what it is. Whereas, we're watching Mandalorian and we're already going, all right, well, we know the Luke had interaction here. We know Boba Fett was here. Okay, where is he? Where are they doing? Like, it already kind of like sours your, or kind of makes you expect certain things from the series when you probably shouldn't be expecting it, because that's not supposed to be the focus of it. But because they threw in those characters, you're like, well, fuck, I'm more interested in where this story is now going to go. Shit, they're not serving my story. Well, this season sucks.
I just can't wait to get the anthology series of R2D2 and C3PO.
For some reason, they always pop up somewhere.
They're staples.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I wanted to just say.
Well done. Way to drag out a what was a 5 minute conversation into like a 50-hour conversation.
Yep,
Hey, we did it, guys!
Shortest episode yet.
And
yep.
I've got people
Uh,
waiting.
I highly recommend watching Andor. It's a different thing to watch from your typical Star Wars shows, and
Uh,
if you're not into the somewhat political stance of, the Star Wars world, then this may bore you, or this may kind of feel like it's just really dragging. Otherwise, I mean, I'm all for not having to watch a lightsaber battle every single episode. So
yeah.
I,
Um, I
I go.
like I'd say, um, I also do recommend this. I think it was smart to show the first three episodes. I think they all gelled well into sort of doing a one little story. This could have been like a short movie, and I would have been like, "All right, cool."
This is like it was definitely like a prologue. You know how like you play video
Yes,
games and you play like the one level and then it's like the opening title screen.
yes,
That's what it felt like.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. I think real quick. Oh, we're not going to get into it too much, but I know it's Sal's favorite. I think the flashbacks worked.
yeah, I would say so.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh my god, did they do a flashback series of a flashback?
What,
I,
Flashpoint.
Think about it. We're in a show doing a flashback of this guy's life, and they did a flashback in the flashback.
no,
Um, that's
prequel of the movie of a show that has flashbacks.
okay. All right. Well, there you go. I think that's it. We got nothing to talk about. We're done.
We are
All right,
done.
Mike, do that thing to wrap up this show.
Fuck it
All
up.
right. Hey guys, follow us on social media: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Did I say Twitch?
Ah, he did.
Instagram.
He did
Yeah,
it. He
no
did.
Twitch, just Twitter and Instagram.
Oh yeah, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at WRMA Cast. Write us an email. Same email, drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com. I don't think it's ever going to change. Write to him. Tell him what is your hurricane um surviving guide.
And I'll
What will
tell
you
you
do?
mine.
And Ham will tell you his. And then his whole diet plan of during the hurricane. It's great for sure. You probably might lose a
Brains.
liver, but you got this.
Yeah, that's a few pounds off though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
All right. What are we talking about next time? Do we got anything lined up? I feel like there's a lull right now, unless I'm completely.
Is
Oh, we
Hocus
have
po- is
something
Hocus Pocus
spectacular for
this?
next time.
I'm not watching Hocus Pocus. I never even watched the first one.
Well, we gotta watch the first one, Papa. I
No,
don't
Cobra.
know.
We eventually got Cobra Kai to come around too.
Oh, guys, and we'll do like a surprise.
Yeah, sure. One of those things.
Yeah.
All right. That wraps it up. Any closing words, gentlemen?
Um. Bye. We'll see. Hopefully, we survive.
Mike's up.